Friday night, my motorcycle got stolen. My KTM 1290 Super Duke R, gone. They cut through the locks, took the cover and just disappeared. And the next morning, I walked into the garage and it was just empty. I was about to go for a ride. I walked in and I just freeze. No bike, no cover, nothing. They didn't just take the bike, they took everything with it. And at that moment, you already know what happened. So I posted it on Instagram and one of my followers told me something interesting. He said, go check the area. Sometimes they park the bike nearby to see if someone comes looking for it. In Dutch we call it koud gesteld. They basically hide it and wait. So I grabbed my bicycle and I just started riding around. No plan, just hoping that I would come across it. And after like 10 minutes, I see something covered a bit in the distance under a bridge, tucked away in a corner, and it looked like my cover. So I ran to it, I parked the bicycle, ran to it, I pulled it off, and I saw directly from the rear tire that it was my motorcycle. So there was my bike just parked there under my cover, about 500 meters from my garage. Okay guys, I can't believe it. I found it. This dude on Instagram gave me the best tip ever. But here's the thing. I had to wait for about 45 minutes as I already had reported it stolen. So I called the police. They came to check the VIN. And in the meantime, I was feeling a bit unsafe. So I called my buddy, my roommate at the time, to come over and to wait with me just in case for some reason the thieves would come back at that moment and I didn't want to get into any difficult situation. Yeah, but then police arrived and they checked the VIN and they cleared it so I could take it home. Unfortunately, it didn't start because they had broken the steering lock and then the mechanism just doesn't let it start. So I had to push it home. It wasn't that far, so all good. And honestly, in this situation, I got lucky, like really lucky, because if I didn't find it in those 10 minutes or that day, probably, or before the end of the afternoon, that bike would have been gone forever. And that's exactly where something like this comes in. In this example, I have the Monimoto 9 tracker, and this is because I've been using them for years. At the time, I was using it for my Husqvarna Nuda, and the KTM was stolen without the tracker in it because I just gotten the bike and I didn't come around to buy the tracker yet. But let's talk about this tracker. This is the Monimoto 9, and if I had this on my bike back then, I wouldn't be riding around guessing. I would know exactly where it was. This tracker is completely wireless, no wiring, no installation. The only thing you have to install is the app on your phone and connect it. All you have to install is this tracker. You hide it somewhere, you get 2 zip ties. You can loop it through here to attach it to something on your bike, like the frame. And then you get the key fob. You have to download first the app on your phone, and there you will find all instructions. You can find them also in the box that you get, but it's really easy to set up. It takes no more than 10 minutes to properly set it up. All you have to do is connect the tracker to the key fob and then register them on your phone. On the phone, you have multiple settings. You can set the sensitivity of the tracker. So is it gonna call you directly with the smallest movement, or is it gonna call you after some larger movements? And you can also add a picture, name the tracker. So if you want to put a cool picture of your motorcycle, or if you want to give it a funny name, that's all possible. And you can always live track it whenever you want. You can even see the speed at which it is going when you're live tracking. So you can also set a regular ping. You can set it to every day, every 2 days, every week, once a month, whatever. And you can set the ping to have also a live location, so a GPS location. I set it to every day, so because I'm a bit paranoia since my previous bike got stolen, but that's what I recommend. So you just hide it somewhere on your bike. It comes with a small key fob. As long as the fob is near the tracker, nothing happens. But the moment your bike moves without it, it calls your phone. Not a notification, not a silent alert, an actual call. And then you can track your bike live. In my case, I had to guess. I had to ride around and hope. But with a tracker, you skip all that, you go straight to your bike, and you can also give live updates to police should it still be moving. This way, police can also enter a building lawfully should the tracker point it to be there. I'm not saying this is gonna stop your bike from being stolen, but it massively increases your chances of getting it back. And after going through this, that's all that matters. I've had sleepless nights waking up thinking, oh, are the bikes that I have correctly locked? Has it been stolen? Or when I get a late call, I'm always like on the tip of my toes, on the edge of my seat, thinking maybe my bike got stolen. That's the call I'm getting right now. So if you want to check it out, I put the link down in the description. Go check them out. They're really good. Lock your bike, but don't rely on luck like I did. Track it. See you in the next one. Peace.